What if I told you that some of the most endangered creatures on Earth aren't tigers, elephants or pandas, but animals you've probably never even heard of? Hidden in caves, oceans and remote forests are species so rare and overlooked that their very survival depends on us simply knowing they exist. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 of the least known endangered species. And trust me, you won't believe some of these are real. Let's start with a creature that looks like it walked straight out of a science fiction movie. The axolotl, often called the walking fish. Except it's not a fish at all. It's a salamander that never grows up, staying in a permanent state of youth. In the lakes around Mexico City, it was once abundant. Now pollution and invasive species have nearly erased it from the wild. Imagine being a species that can regrow limbs, even parts of its brain, yet still not survive humanity's carelessness. Now picture yourself swimming in the deep ocean, when out of the darkness drifts something that looks like a translucent balloon with a pig snout. Meet the blobfish, infamously called the world's ugliest animal. But here's the twist. It only looks that way when dragged up from the crushing depths where it lives. Down there, in its natural environment, it's perfectly adapted. The real tragedy. Deep-sea trawling destroys its habitat, leaving this misunderstood creature teetering on extinction. Sometimes beauty isn't the measure of worth, survival is. Speaking of strange adaptations, the pangolin is a mammal covered in scales, like a living pine cone. When threatened, it curls into a ball, armor against predators. But against humans, its defense has become a death sentence. Pangolins are the most trafficked mammals in the world, hunted for their scales and meat. Imagine surviving millions of years of evolution only to be pushed to the brink by superstition and greed. Here's one you've probably never seen in any nature documentary. The olm, a pale, eyeless salamander that lives in underwater caves of Eastern Europe. It can survive without food for up to 10 years. 10 years. Yet, despite that resilience, pollution in underground water systems threatens to wipe it out. It's like a ghost of evolution, silent, hidden, and forgotten. High in the forests of Madagascar lives the eye, a lemur so strange that locals once believed it was a bad omen. With its long bony finger, it taps on trees to listen for grubs inside, then fishes them out like a natural toothpick. Because of myths surrounding it, villagers often kill it on sight. Here's the real curse-mistaking uniqueness for danger. Let's jump from Madagascar to the Andes Mountains of South America, where you'll find the Mountain Viscacha, a fluffy rodent that looks like a mix between a rabbit and a chinchilla. They sunbathe on rocks, twitching their long whiskers, but their high-altitude world is shrinking due to climate change. Imagine an animal perfectly suited to thin air and freezing nights, now struggling to adapt not to nature but to us. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a turtle with a green mohawk? Meet the Mary River turtle from Australia. Its hair is actually algae growing on its head, thanks to the way it breathes through specialized glands in its backside. Yes, you heard that right. It breathes through its butt. Quirky? Absolutely. But habitat loss from damming rivers is choking out this punk-rock reptile. And once it's gone, well, it's gone forever. From reptiles to rodents, the Kakapo, also known as the owl parrot of New Zealand. This nocturnal, flightless parrot can live up to 90 years, making it one of the longest living birds on Earth. But here's the problem. It smells. Literally. Its musty, sweet scent makes it easy for predators to track, and with just a couple of hundred left, each bird's survival is a monumental effort by conservationists. A bird too heavy to fly, too smelly to hide, yet still fighting to cling to life. Deep in Southeast Asia's rainforests, there's the Sunda Flying Lemur. Despite its name, it's not a lemur and it doesn't really fly. Instead, it glides from tree to tree using flaps of skin that stretch between its limbs like a living parachute. It's an ancient survivor of the forest canopy, but as logging rips apart its home, its leaps of faith are becoming leaps into nowhere. And finally, let's end with something that sounds like fantasy but is all too real. The saola, nicknamed the Asian unicorn. It's one of the rarest large animals in the world, discovered only in 1992. With its long, slender horns and elusive nature, sightings in the wild are almost non-existent. But here's the heartbreak. Its habitat is disappearing faster than scientists can even study it. Imagine discovering a unicorn, and then losing it before most people ever knew it was real. So why share these stories? Because stories are what make us human. They make us feel, they make us remember, and they make us care. If you didn't know about these species before, now you do, and that knowledge could be the thin line between extinction and survival. Because the truth is, every one of these creatures matters. Not because they're beautiful or useful or famous, but because they're here. And once they're gone forever.